If I can leave you with anything, what I have learned as president is that there is a critical difference between declaring the word transformational leader and being a real transformational leader. Transformational leadership is not about one person. It can and it must be about putting the need of the team above all else and creating a vision for the future. It can and must be empathetic beyond self-centered interests. It can and must be committed to building confidence through inspiration and teamwork and not insecurity and chaos. It can and must be about motivation and not denigration. And above all, it must be about honesty. One cannot talk the talk. One has to walk the walk.
Bas!
से हुई ऐसी बात करने की मेरी पोती को अशोक कहा बस
छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन हे छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन ज़मीं आसमां झुक गया झूमता गगन आसमान मेरे झूम ले जहां ये कैसा नशा प्यार का समा वही समझ हुए आसमान होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा कैसा नशा होश है कहाँ होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Pageant Gurus and this is the juicy, spicy one. All the gossips from the Miss Universe 2023. And as you saw, it is starting with the most controversial speech ever seen on the Miss Universe stage. And this was shockingly from Paula Sugart. Wow, Guru, I think we all were sad and shocked and amused by it as well. What do you think? What is the spicy things that we don't know about?
So I think let's just start by thanking Paula Sugart for more than two and a half decades of great service. It takes a lot of passion, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of ups and downs to basically live the life that she has, and having queen after queen raising the standard and the bar. Hats off to you, ma'am. Amazing. However, it wasn't truly surprising for me. This was in the making. The moment Anne took over last year, we knew that it's just a matter of time when the key, management positions are going to be changed. Earlier this year, we saw, Esther, Mama Esther, she leaving or being told to leave. Plus, we've seen many more new hires coming, across in KKN Group to support the whole Miss Universe organization. And I believe it was in the coming, but I believe that, she knocked it out of the park by the timing of it. I'm not too sure whether Anne knew that this was the content of her speech. What do you think, Emma?
I think that's what we all knew, because it was shocking the way it happened and the expression on Anne's face. There is this picture that we're going to put up. You're going to see that she was like, this was not what we talked about. This is not what was expected. She thought it was just going to be, a goodbye speech to her fans, which she has every right to address before leaving, because it was already discussed she was going to leave. But the content was extempore, and the way the speech was flowed. Paula had planned every word she said. She knew exactly what she was saying, and it was all up there. So it was a shocker, and there is not going to be another Paula. So we are surprised what's going to happen to Miss Universe after her.
We've already seen that, after her moving on, a lot of national directors are also putting in their papers, or saying at least they resigned from the position of national directors at Miss USA as well as at Miss Universe.
Yes.
So I believe it's just a trend, and you're going to have a dominoes effect where people who don't believe in the legacy, or people who don't believe in the legacy, won't follow it anymore. and people who
Yeah.
really want to be a part of the JKN group and the new ethos of transformation leadership will continue. What was also interesting was the fact that, I believe it was one of the best farewell speeches given by any queen. I do believe Paula was the real queen that night. You
Yes.
know, it came from the heart
Absolutely.
compared to Arbini's lackluster speech,
Hmm.
which did not have any heart. You could see that she was, holding her ground. She has been a mentor to so many queens, and the amount of love that came out on social
Hmm.
media from all the past queens was so endearing.
Yeah.
It's a definitely end of a legacy that is going to be remembered for a long time. But I wish her all the best. It had to happen someday. Many people were saying that it's time that she should quit, she should move on. But I feel she did it in a very respectful way, and she showed the mirrors to many, including our dear Anne. So I think that's one key controversy that really happened, that really shook the entire pageant industry.
This was not a happy retirement. This was a forced retirement for her. I feel she could have stuck around for maybe a couple of years more, but it just reached her boiling point because the speech gave us so much insight into what was really going on in MU under the leadership of Anne, which we all had doubts, and we've been criticizing her pretty rightfully because this is what's been happening, and she confirmed all our doubts. So it's going to be pretty hard for Anne to come back, but
Do you think Paula is safe? Has she come back safely?
I don't know.
thought-
I hope she had safe exit from El Salvador because I mean this actually destroyed Anne's reputation to
a lot.
a large extent. And what you're gonna see follow what we're gonna talk about now, you're gonna see a lot of it making sense because it's hierarchied from there, and it's kind of brought out a lot of stuff regarding Anne and the whole jeopardy of JKN International. So we don't know what's going on, but it's just not steady. There's a lot of turbulence heading up ahead for Anne.
But what I also got to know, Emma, that we saw a lot of crowd really cheering everyone, and that's
Yeah.
normally not the case. And what
Yeah.
I have got to know as well is because of President Bocelli, there were people who were just told to cheer everything up to make this event successful, to make it really shine as an outlier for Central Americans, to really showcase that. And many of the seats were purely told they have to clap, they have to really do this to make this a success. So that was another interesting twist where we see that, at one point we were saying, wow, amazing, El Salvador people are really trying to, pour their hearts out. At the same time, because it was at a national level, and we know that, he's almost like a dictator there. He's really wiped off the entire, the negative elements within the country. So it was basically do or die situation for El Salvador, and they've really taken it a notch high by making sure that this is very well reciprocated by each contestant. So that was a bit of a question mark whether this was genuine or whether this was all staged.
I was part of it. Guru, when I was in Russia during the FIFA World Cup, I mean, this was also a huge thing there. Putin told the people to be nice to literally every tourist, and they knew who tourists were because we had our IDs that we had to wear all the time. So it has been told, so yes, the people do respond to it. I think it's genuine. I don't think it's out of fear or was it staged. I don't think so. But I think the people generally were happy that the pageant came back to the country. These are pageant crazy, fans. So yes, and like I said, we're going to see it in the Americas for quite a long time. The Latinos are going to dominate, and we pretty much know what's going to happen in Mexico. What do you think about that, Guru?
No, I believe that even in this year's pageant, I think once the preliminaries were done, there were some lists that were out which said that these are going to be the top 20. I think the contestants knew that they don't stand a chance. So you've seen the case of Miss Ireland, if you remember. She had changed her hairstyle at the last minute and looked very disinterested. And
they did,
and
this is true. Yeah.
The shocking non-placement of Miss Mexico and having the competition next year in Mexico, it just seems too contrived, you know. So I'm sure next year is going to be a placement
Mexico's
for
gonna be in
Mexico.
top five next year. Mexico's gonna make it in top five, and here's the thing, guys. The grapevine and this rumor that we've heard is that most of the contestants knew that they were not gonna make it, and the ones that knew they were gonna make it were confident and they were calm. Nobody had jitters. Nobody had like, oh my god, I didn't make it. That was not there. There was a lot of, oh my god, I made it. But they were like, this is a thing a lot of contestants knew. So it was to a certain extent planned out, like you're saying. So there is a lot of evidence that's coming out that, yeah, it was rigged. What do you think about that?
I
I
don't know whether
felt
it
that
was
it
rigged or
was
not. I
rigged.
knew they've chosen a safe winner, beautiful
Hmm.
winner, not doubting her. But within how she has reached the top, I believe that, you know, the way they've made her
We've spoken
very
about that.
easy.
Yeah.
You know, I think we spoke about that at length. So I think they made her path a little easier by
Hmm.
hand-picking people or delegates that could have been a threat,
Hmm.
which actually dovetails into one of the most important controversy that we had in this year's edition. It is about Miss Philippines not really getting her
This
due.
Yeah.
You know, she won so many awards. Some of them, as you also mentioned, you know, are more of a trophy or a consolation prize. Because I do feel that specifically, I think the national costume
Hmm.
was something that was met with mixed reaction. It wasn't a clear winner for me. Whereas if you look at, you know, the likes of El Salvador or a couple of others, I'm forgetting the one who was on stilts, was I think Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
Some
was
of those were really
Africa.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It-
and
It's
even
you
getting
know.
the Cardinal Award, getting the, you know, the maximum number of votes, plus the voice for change. So when you have all these coming across, and also it's not okay. You can get all those awards and then you can still not progress. That's fine. But when you come with such an amazing evening gown performance, it really puzzles everyone as to why. You know, it was one of those why
And that
moments.
why, Guru, that's exactly where we're going, guys, is that why for everything that happened and it didn't happen. There's so much that came out. Iris put her in top five. The
True.
scores were not displayed on the screen. Nadia Ferreira, the biggest secret weapon Anne had was Nadia Ferreira being there, and that ruined the chances of many important girls. And now the latest controversy Guru would love to tell you about that just got out was Anne suing TCG for 1.5 billion. That is hilarious, and Guru's going to give you the breakdown on that. So this is all linked. This is all linked, and Guru, take it away.
So where should I start? It's like after such a nice evening gown, as you said, Iris was saying that she placed her in the top five. Nadia Ferreira, we have a video which talks about, you know, talking amazing about Philippines. We have Carson Cressley as well, talking how amazing she was. But I'm sure that there were behind the scenes clear indications that some judges have not or have ensured that she does not progress.
Yeah.
Even, you know, the runway coach Luciera was completely shocked how Miss Philippines was not able to progress. So, and we also saw, you know, Miss Universe El Salvador social media posts where they had put Miss Philippines in the top five. So there can't be so many things going uneven, and then you feel that something is, you know,
it's too obvious, you know. Exactly, Guru. It's too obvious that this was revenge from Anne. There's no way. She has been absorbing a lot of negativity and bludgeoning from Philippine fans, from fans everywhere that did not like her. So she, I think, knew for a fact that she was gonna strike back. And today's announcement from her proves that she is never going to let Philippines come up. They're never going to win. They are not going to win for a very long time, and it's personal with her now. Okay, now this court
Yeah,
case is
because
gonna go on and on, and it's going to be
I think
absolutely.
before we move to the famous post today about Miss Universe coin, another thing about Nadia Ferreira and how she was planted at the opportunist or the right time in the initial set of judges, nothing mentioned, right?
Yeah, nobody
And
knew.
let's also go back in time when Miss El Salvador
El
had
Salvador.
come a little later, and then there was Miss Dominican Republic, a hot favorite, and both of them were like hand and glove, really talking together, moving
Yeah,
around. It was
they were
like
photographed a lot.
everything is,
Yeah,
La
yeah.
La Land. And then suddenly we see that both Dominican Republic and Miss El Salvador are not talking to each other. And within a couple of days, we see Nadia Ferreira being introduced as a judge. And then we see the non-placement of Dominican Republic. So I just felt that there is some
Yeah.
truth in where all of this
It
is heading.
definitely. So, like I said, like what we're talking about, everything was leaked. There was a lot of things leaked, right? I mean, we knew about, there were a lot of photographs leaked. I knew about Philippines' outfit, which was going to be an aircraft. We knew about that. There were a lot of things that were purposely leaked. In fact, Nadia Ferreira being there was known to few girls. Definitely known to few girls. And I think that's when they were like, oh, something is up. These last minute things that she does is all for her favor. So,
I think she
lot
became a little crafty. She has held some of the cards with her till this date. She knew that she had to sue this group,
yeah,
and rightfully so as well. I think she is one tigress who's like wounded because they just did not use the name of Miss Universe, but also sent or kind of distributed a lot of negativity around the whole JKN group, saying that they've become bankrupt, and even some of the videos that we saw about Anne just being posted randomly out of nowhere.
yeah, some of
They're
them
just
were
trying to
fake because
malign
they were
her.
using deep fake videos of Anne doing all sorts of things. So they have gone after her. They have been really vicious with her, and she has done a vicious attack back by purposely not
But it's going
letting
to help her eventually if she's able to win something out of it. She's going to win almost double than what she bought the Miss
They're
Universe
not gonna pay that.
for.
They're not gonna pay that because this money is important to Anne because this can clear her debts as well. So this is like a
Absolutely.
double whammy if she gets it. But I don't think it's gonna work. It's gonna take a very long time for a settlement to come. Although she has a stronger case. Generally, for us to see what's happened, yeah, she does have a strong case. Are they gonna pay out? No. They might come for some settlement, but that money probably not gonna happen. She needs money. She needs funding. And what she's clarified as she's not filed for bankruptcy as such, but she is. It's called like on literally on the
Rehabilitation.
verge of it. So you get aid, you get help for it, where you're not, technically are bankrupt. So that's a different thing. So they have again messed her up, and they're like pulling her down, and they're like not even giving her a chance to do something. But this is what's happening. She's hitting back. Michelle lost.
I think the way in
Nadia
which she
came
hit
there.
back. Another thing in which she hit back was very interesting. If you remember, after Paula's speech, she needed validation of some sort, right?
Yeah.
And if you saw when Arbini came on the stage the first time on the finals, talking about what the Miss Universe organization has done for her life has changed completely, and she's going to start her own line of business with, sustainable cloth and designs. One of the MCs, Marina, I think, she said, okay, and I believe you want to say something else as well. She was literally triggering her to say something. And then she said, yes, I would also like to thank Miss Anne for all the opportunities. It was as if, she was told, okay, please now do course correction. You have to thank Miss Anne. Normally I've never seen anyone thanking a particular person. They thank the Miss Universe organization. But here it was like trying to just try to cover up.
They were
Or
forcing it
try
out,
to-
yeah. Because
yeah.
like we say, everyone had their view on Arbany's farewell walk, and she was not happy. She was not happy throughout her reign. In fact, she knew about Paula leaving, and I think she also knows about the controversies that Paula was talking about. So she already had lost that whole thing, that whole interest. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? So she actually was very relieved to get rid of that crown because she had a tough time, and she was not given the opportunities that she really deserved. I'm not sure
True.
how many
But
endorsements or
that's
how
if you
many
look
of
at
the
if
actual
you
work fell through, except
because if
for
you
what
look at
Anne was
Paula,
doing. Anne was
you're
doing her own
right.
promotion.
You're right, Mema. Because if you see what um, Paula spoke, she talked about not about being an individual, giving the women the right, making the
Yeah.
team go first, about honesty, about integrity. These are strong, solid words that define character.
Yeah.
And talking about just transformation for namesake versus actually being a transformational leader, I think that was a lot of damage that had to be repaired. So I believe that Arbani being told to say something about Anne would have actually helped the Miss Universe organization's overall brand. That the reigning queen is talking about Miss Anne being a good representative of giving opportunities to Arbani. Though I'm sure she knew within her heart that the true opportunities that a real Miss Universe is normally given was never given to her.
Yeah. No.
And was always
She
the
did.
stage.
Because if you think about it, during her reign, what was Arbany doing herself? Because when you see previous reigns, there's so much the contestant is doing. She's endorsing brands, she's doing promotions for whatever cause and her own advocacy. Arbany did nothing. What was she doing? Promoting JKN's water and things that were under the Miss Universe umbrella, which is still not launched. The products, the skincare products. That's what she did. She was just like this model. Okay, I'm just gonna
The
hold a
brand,
bottle and start walking. Yeah, just like a brand
ambassador.
Nothing else she did. And so it was useless. And to be honest, her whole reign became irrelevant to her, and she realized it, I guess. So she's like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this and get focused on my business, and that's what she's gonna do. And yeah, but I'm not sure what is gonna happen with Shanice now with Nicaragua. I mean, it's gonna be
yes.
like we have
So
to go there.
I believe that when you have people talking more about the non-winners compared to the winner, there's definitely something not purely right. So what we've seen with Nicaragua is the national director has been told not to enter the country because of being, anti-national. I don't know whether she's going to have a homecoming.
I don't know. I mean, I think she's gonna settle down where she is now and just do what she's best at, modeling.
But I think
and
that's very sad.
I'm not sure. It is
country,
sad, but because
like
these are conflicted countries, they have issues, and I think after coming back to El Salvador after so many years, I mean, and to say, okay, we're fine, tourism, and then but then don't know Indians coming and no Africans coming. Come on, you're still a mess if you have to say all that. So it is going to be a lot of controversial Miss Universes we're going to see now, and I think Shanice is going to come from New York and then crown the new winner, and then I don't know where she's going to go after that. But I think
it's quite sad to not have her receive such a warm welcome. I believe that most of the people in Nicaragua would be so happy. It's like the first win when we had Sushmita Sen. They were treated like goddess and goddesses, right? Even Philippines, for that matter, she is really reaping all the love and the support of the Filipinos back home. So that's two things that are good. And what's also good is the love and the affection and the friendship between Thailand and Philippines. What do you think of that?
I wonder if they are lovers. I think they could be lovers. Would be like, oh my God, that would be one hot couple. I mean, I think it would be probably the hottest couple on the planet at the moment. What do you think?
It's not new. We've seen that in MGI in the year 2020 when we had Miss Argentina and Miss Puerto Rico. They actually met at MGI, but eventually they got engaged and now they are married. So you never know what one leads to. And if it's going to be the case, then it's going to be a beautiful, happily ever after.
It's going to be so adorable because they both were sad.
and they won both. They won each other. I think that could be really
I
nice.
think, yeah, I think it would be a lovely love story if that were to happen because they both are so
Because
adorable.
another
And
thing is, while leaving as a parting gift, Antonia gave her ring that she wore on the finals. It was the Universe ring. So that was another thing, and they call each other mom and dad for some reason. So it's like
daddy,
okay,
mommy and I. So, Michelle is the daddy.
yeah.
So, well, yeah, she's edgy. She's the one who's gonna be like,
He's
I'm
the
gonna
daddy
protect you,
dog.
babe. Yeah, she's the daddy dog. I'm gonna protect you, babe. You're my baby girl. I mean, it's so goddamn cute if these two are a couple. I'm actually rooting for the fact that they should be a couple because then it'll be so cute. And I think they're gonna have a better life than being winners
Then
together.
Mr.
I think
Raghuva.
they have more opportunity together. So we're sending a lot of love to Antonia and Michelle. Please let
And
us know.
also
in the
for both Philippines and Thailand as countries, I think both of them have really forged that bond, which were normally at loggerheads, but now they're actually supporting each other.
I think Anne could not stop that from happening but she would be against this love
Love
affair
conquers all.
yeah.
From one love story to another. Well, not really love story, but more
Who
of
is
a. This is more our love for Miss Nepal. Okay,
Oh my god, guys, before we begin, take a look at this picture. Oh la la, oh my god, could this woman get more sexy? I mean, wow, what is
I
happening?
think Miss Universe has been the perfect platform for her to just elevate her. And I think everybody does not need to become a winner, but by just making your presence felt, I think she is going to go places. From being bullied, from being body shamed, to being clapped, being really cheered throughout the competition, to meeting Alicia Machado, to having these photo shoots and becoming sexier. It just opens the eyes of men and women to what sexual beings can be other than your perfectly class art figures, right? So,
you don't have to be you don't have to be a stick insect to be sexually attractive at all. She is like a bombshell in this. I mean, I think a Playboy centerfold. Wow. I mean,
because even
God.
Alicia Machado was given that opportunity to pose in Playboy, and she did. So you never know. Our dear Jane Deepika Garrett would be following suit.
She is too sexy, and I am seeing a lot of amazing things in the future. And you know what? She's not going to get to her, all the nonsense, all the bullying. She has proved she's hot, she's sexy, and she's current. And that look is, trust me, it's just burned into my brain. It's too hot, and I'm so happy. So we're sending her a lot of love, and we can't wait to see what she does next. Imagine she's like a Bond girl, or she's in a Hollywood movie. Oh my God. All right, and what is next?
Next is Miss Australia. What do you think? Do you think it was justified the way she was crossing one hurdle after the other and actually reached the top 3?
Absolutely not justified. She could not have got top 3 from what we saw eventually. How she spoke, her evening gown was horrible. I mean, I think she was the lowest ranked in evening gown round for me. So I'm not sure. Apart from that pretty face, what else? There were much prettier girls than her, to be honest. I know you know something, Guru. So tell us.
Yeah. So if we go a little back, it's quite interesting to know that while she was crowned, and there was a lot of expectations for her to do well, which is great, and she did. But the fact of the matter is, just a few weeks after she was crowned, there was a petition on change.org to actually dethrone her because her parents, where she's a part of a company, of a real estate company, in fact, which actually filed for bankruptcy, another case of bankruptcy. And in fact, I have the numbers here, about $41 million that had to be repaid, plus about 21 million in terms of taxes as well. So, and still she made it, which is great. And then she ended up being in the top 3, which is quite interesting how basically the entire destiny just turned in her favor. I don't know what's going to happen next.
I don't think it's destiny. I think it's Yeah, this is what's happening in this pageant. Apart from a worthy winner, there is so much that's gone
A worthy winner and a great
wrong.
stage.
There's so much that's gone on in the back. It's like it's gonna keep coming out. Wait and watch, guys. There's gonna be a lot of little controversies coming up, and you're gonna hear a lot of things in the grapevine. And you know what? Most of them are gonna be true.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's
I think what the Miss Universe did right was to crown a good, worthy,
worthy winner,
non-controversial.
so you can't really. Yeah, I think
So
that's a very
eventually,
clever
all's
thing
well
they
that
did.
ends well.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there were small nitty-gritties here and there which really would have really, bubbled up if they had not crowned a worthy
Correct.
winner. If, for
And I think-
example, Australia would have won, there would have been backlash.
Ooh.
In fact, for Australia herself, it would have been bad because people would not. She would have had a
Accept
crowning
her.
moment for
Yeah.
1 minute, but the moment she would have gone on social media, they would be, backlashed.
They would
So-
have. They would have not spared her for that controversy. For a fact, I think all of it had a purpose to why it happened, and I think it was strategically done. Nicaragua, worthy winner, crown her. There were only two worthy winners at that point, at top 20, Philippines and Nicaragua. So they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just
Correct.
give it to Nicaragua because then, fair enough. No one can say anything about it because
And we
everyone seems
also
to be
knew,
happy with this
Emma,
winner. Everyone is
if you-
happy
if you-
with her.
If you remember, Emma, you also know, in fact, you only told me about the fact that Latina has to win this time.
Yeah.
It was very clear that the Asians and the Europeans were completely being snubbed in important events in terms of, the support that they were getting during those 2 weeks of competition.
Yeah. I knew,
Okay.
and I think we're gonna see Latinas win. I know for a fact Mexico's gonna make it like top 5 next year. I already kind of have an idea on which country will win next year. It is already planned. I think Anne already knows who's gonna win next year. So
Oh.
even though the girls haven't been crowned yet, but they, it kind of works to a way that it comes still there. Like El
Interesting.
Salvador, I'm not saying anything. I think we all know the controversy
saw
behind
that.
El Salvador being
And in
crowned.
fact, if you remember
Yeah,
why
so,
why the winner at El Salvador won actually, even at the pageant, if you remember, she was actually from Guatemala, but she actually participated in this competition and
Yeah,
won for El
yeah.
Salvador, has connections, has family that has represented pageants as well. So a lot happening behind the scenes. Let's come closer to ourselves. Let's talk about the India-Pakistan love.
Sharda. Yeah, there's love brewing between our neighbor, Miss Pakistan. They recently came on a call together,
Live.
which was a live call, and they were discussing about what happened, and they were very nonchalant and very pally, and what
Which
do you
was
think
good.
is brewing? Is that another love affair going on? The forbidden
No, I
love?
don't think a love affair. I think both of them were trying to show, even after the winning, after the contest, they both took pictures together just to show and get some more paparazzi and get more views, which was great. Also, as you rightly mentioned, completely chilled out. What is past is past. They enjoyed themselves. Everybody can't be a winner. I think they've made peace with it and they're moving on with their lives. So that's a good thing. At least to have both of them being in the top 20 was good. And both of them not advancing the top 10 was also good. Otherwise, I'm sure that camaraderie would not have been there if suppose one of them had moved forward to the top 10 and the other had not.
We
which-
clearly wanted, Pakistan to be top 5 as well because she was actually quite brilliant.
She was
And
actually
except
in
no
that
Peru, no
evening count.
Spain. Yeah, we said that before. So there was a possibility that Pakistan could have made top 5, and if the judging was fair, like we said,
Absolutely.
then
With
it
that
would have
count,
been.
yes.
Would that interview have happened? No, it wouldn't have. That call would not have happened if Pakistan progressed.
Okay. One more thing. In fact, was that- no,
So yeah, but then Shweta.
one more
Go
thing.
ahead,
I think
go ahead.
Shweta is doing well. Good for her. Let's move on to the one more important part is about the MCs. Do you think, and I'm quite sure actually, next year Olivia Culpo will not be part of the MCs. I think this time was a mess. Having 5 of them is a bit too much. It's chaos. 2 is a couple, 3 is a mess. I do believe that it's not just because it's the number game, but I don't think she's a worthy compare as well. If you remember that during the swimsuit competition, and we'll play that clip, guys, here. She says, "Girls, how are you feeling?" Puts the microphone in front of one of them. Miss Jamaica starts speaking, and even before she starts opening her mouth, she pulls the mic back and starts, whatever she's mugged up, she starts speaking. So it was so weird.
Yeah.
Is she just memorizing her lines and pulling through? And also, the final winner announcement was not made by her. It was made by the recent, I'm forgetting her name. Not done by either, Dini Mai, or it was done by Olivia Culpo. So definitely, I believe that I think they would give her a consolation
She
by
seems
making her.
uncomfortable while comparing.
She's
I mean,
not-
she
yeah,
does.
she's-
It's not. It's like she's been forced to do it, and I think they can
It
give her a
doesn't come
skip. And I
naturally
want to
to
see
her.
more men on stage. I would love to see a blend of men. I think 4 is enough. 2 on stage, 2 backstage. I don't think you need more than that. One.
Maybe Catriona can come as the main host as well.
Yeah,
I'll be
Katrina
happy
can come as
to do that.
main, and with a man, any man, even a guy, some famous person from Mexico who is probably a DJ, VJ, whatever. I mean, he can be anything, a journalist, whatever. So we can get someone famous from Mexico to join Katerina, and that would make more sense. I would like to see more local people from that country represent their country on stage, and that would make more sense. And one beauty queen. So let's see. Let's hope what we see in Mexico is going to be better than this.
It'll be difficult. It will be difficult because I'll tell you why. Because El Salvador, it was coming right from the president, whereas this time the host committee is a businessman and his conglomerate. So it's not going to be about the nation going behind a competition, but more of a group that's going to be.
I do feel it will be interesting. Mexico will be interesting, but it will not be as beautifully in terms of the stage.
Yeah, it will
But
not be as
there will be way more endorsements in Mexico than you saw in El Salvador. There will be way more in Mexico. So
But
that is
it's
gonna
also
be.
that the crowd can be much more, vicious, I would say, because they become very violent, and it's very obvious. So controlling those becomes very, very difficult. So I think
No,
that's
it
one
will.
area will-
The crowd won't be as sweet and calm and
they're
neutral
very,
as El Salvador. The
they're very
stage won't be
polar.
as beautiful and classy as El Salvador. The organizing, all of the events, the dinners and the preliminaries are not going to be as good as what El Salvador
But I
has done.
think there is bigger potential in Mexico compared to El Salvador. When it comes to the culture, the traditions, the food, I think there's much more that can
Like I said, there are going to be a lot of endorsements. There are going to be a lot of sponsorships. There are going to be so much of sponsorships that yes, the girls are going to have a fun time. It's going to be extremely chaotic. And if Mexico doesn't make it top 3, there will be absolute riots. That's for sure. So it's going to be difficult. And I don't expect your country to. I'm not expecting India to come anywhere for a long time now. And I think, like you said, Shweta Patel was on board, and that's why India is
yes.
making impact. What
Correct, for
if
2
Shweta
years in
Patel
a
leaves?
row.
Yeah,
Correct, for
what
2
did
years
she
in a
leave?
row. I think she was the only judge for the last 2 years, being the VP of marketing for Roku. We've seen India come, but probably next year, with it not being on Roku, let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Because
Good
even
luck,
last
India.
year-
Because
Last year there were these Leva fabrics which made the capes. So
Yeah.
we saw India come as well. Though Devita was a pure bliss, divine magic.
Divita was a class apart. Oh God, that girl should have. I mean, it was just horrible what happened. I was looking for a back-to-back win, to be honest. I was not a fan
Only
of
if
her.
Saisha had, made her gown.
Saisha should do the dresses. I mean, I think, guys, Leva, Miss Diva, guys, you watching, please, for heaven's sakes, let Saisha design the evening gowns. Let Jasmine, Eggy Jasmine, do the national costume. Let us win something, guys. Come on. Eggy Jasmine's doing a fantastic job. So I think we need to revamp the look. Shweta could have had a better wardrobe. She looked good in most of her things, but she could have had a fantastic wardrobe, which she did not. I did not like many of it.
I didn't see a single sari actually. I didn't see her wear a single sari.
There was no Indian outfit. She would rock a sari with that beautiful body of hers. I was very disappointed, and I did not like her wardrobe. I think they need to step it up. They have to step it up with the wardrobe. It's really sad what they've been doing. So, I don't think we're going to win next year at all, but I think we should at least win national costume or something, So, well, that's it. I think, do we have any more? Or that's it?
No, I think that's about it. We had 12 of them.
So, this is all the gossip and the hot news that we heard from the grapevine and rumors which are probably true. So we are going to be up and about in another fun episode, because this is going to be the Pageant Gurus Pageant Awards extravaganza for 2023. You don't want to miss it. It's a 2-part series and it's going to hit you next week. We're coming up with new categories. We're coming up with new nominations and
There are
some
total,
funny
Emma, there are about
special
25.
appearances.
There are about some 25 categories. And
Categories.
it's going to be very, very special. And you don't really want to miss this, because by next week, you're going to see some very interesting news coming. And we shall leave it at that.
So, happy holidays, guys, and it's a fun
Yeah.
season. Stay warm.
Finally.
I mean, it's
Enjoy
snowing in
yourself.
places. It's getting really cold here as well. And Christmas is coming up. So get shopping and then stay tuned for our next episode. So you don't want to miss the red carpet. And that's it for Guru and I. Have a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week ahead. So,
All right.
lots of love.
And shukriya.
It's time for women to manage the world, in fact, the universe. You must have a purpose in life. You must know why you were born,
Why?
and you must use your personality to serve the purpose of your soul.
It's the end of my tenure as the president of Miss Universe.